Last but not least, dear Pisces, welcome to Pure Tarot. I'm doing the 5 W's reading, which is the who, the what, the where, the why, and the when of a situation. I have different decks. I have partial decks. I have court cards out of the Santa Muerte deck just to pull, to look at the who. The Moonology deck is complete to look at the what. The Enchanted Map Oracle deck, part of it, to describe where. Major Arcanas out of the Ghost Spirits deck to look at the why. And the Ace through the 10 to look at when. So just to pull a number to get an idea whether we're talking about 5 days, months, weeks, or months. So let's shuffle the cards, get one card out of each deck, and let's explore this situation for you. Page of Swords. I'm laughing because I think you're the third sign that gets this card. Not too sure which other signs. I think it was Scorpio had that. And then another sign prior, but I don't remember which one. Let's look at what this pertains to. Conclusions are within reach. The full moon eclipse. Interesting. Really interesting. Because we're about to have a full moon eclipse on the 19th of this month. Very interesting. It'll be in the axis Taurus Scorpio. Very, very interesting. One ring circus. Another interesting card. Oh, wow. The Empress. Your reading is beautiful. It's actually eclectic, which is quite interesting. And all the cards are flying out, which is beautiful. 8 here. It's the 8 of Hearts, which could be the 8 of Cups, but I'm not reading this card as the 8 of Cups. I'm only using the number 8. I just want to point out 8 is like the infinity symbol. So, I mean, it's interesting because I'm looking for a time frame, right? And this would be 8 days, 8 weeks, 8 months. But then it might be infinite, eternal. That's really interesting. Okay, let's look at this Page of Swords together. It might be you, it might be describing you, it might be describing someone else. Then, yeah, it might be someone you know or someone you will meet. So, I'm going to use the same, I'm going to point out the same thing that really I find quite striking in this card than I did when I looked at it for the other signs. What really stands out for me is this quill with the ink. So the person is signing or writing, but I feel that because it's in ink, it has a lot of importance. And, we say usually black on white, you're going to put your thought, once you put it on paper, it takes on a different life of its own, right? It's traceable, it might be eternal, right? Versus words that are being spoken that you could imagine are being carried by the wind, and they disappear. Unless you memorize, and then again, your memory can play tricks on you, and you might not remember all the words in the same sequence than they were spoken. So the written form here takes on a different dimension. So there's definitely something of importance for you coming up, or I feel it's coming up because we're giving a time frame here of 8 days, 8 weeks, 8 months. Or you might have done something, put something in writing that instigates something that will occur within 8 days, 8 weeks, 8 months. So this Page of Swords is communicating a message. He's typically a very active person, also mentally active, communicative, in terms of maybe even sometimes too talkative, to the point of being too talkative. But I picked up for Scorpio, and I do want to bring this in for you as well, Pisces, that there's some sort of compiling of information. And I had the idea that this person is synthesizing and structuring their thoughts and taking the time to do so. So that's something I want to point out. And it has to do with the fact that you're putting it black on white, right? On paper. If you express yourself verbally, you could be, you're not as structured as when you actually take the time to write a text, revise, go back, edit. So that's what I mean. Let's look at what this pertains to. The conclusions are within reach, so you're definitely reaching a culmination. So it's usually full moons are about revealing a situation, having something in full light. But this is a full moon eclipse. So in this case, something is being wiped out. That's so interesting. Or, blacked out. So it's like, it's a conclusion where something disappears, becomes out of sight, is being removed from your vision, from what you can actually see. It's the opposite of the usual meaning of a full moon where something is being illuminated. But I do want to bring in the idea that there is an illumination. You are aware. So it's an awareness of the blacking out or the blocking out. That's interesting. Something is being blacked out, but it's also being blocked out. So that's really, really interesting. It's extremely complex. So it's like a double-edged sword. It's like it's not even a double-edged sword because, that would imply that depending on how you look at the sword, which side, then one side is light, one side is dark. But this is even more subtle. It's both phenomenons at once. So it's really like a hybrid. It's really powerful. Eclipses are always powerful, by the way, so definitely meaningful. And this one ring circus, I mean, I'm old enough to remember going to, and I say old enough in the sense that I don't even know if, nowadays the circus is like Cirque du Soleil, I mean, they might have the arena where the numbers or where the, the different, I'm not sure how you call them. I'm translating from French to English about un numéro de cirque, so like a circus number. I don't know if that's how you say it in English. So, but you have the clown coming, you have the acrobats, you have the, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like whatever's being presented within that circle. So first of all, the circle is really important. And I was describing how I'm old enough because I remember, I think it was the Shriner Circus or something like that. Like in the good old days where you had the real circle with, sometimes it was even ground, like the floor was dirt. I don't know, it's really strange. Either I'm collapsing scenes in movies or whatever, but I have this really, really old school image in front of me in my mind of this one ring circus, right? So just the idea of having the circle is something is being circumscribed. So this illumination, this awareness is within this circle. So there's something very, very, focus is not the right word, but circumscribed. It's happening within a certain sphere, a certain I want to say like you could say it's a location, like a place, but it could also be like a sphere of your life, right? Meaning that it's happening in one segment, in this one particular circle. And why not say like a circle of friends, like it could be within your community, your family, but a ring of people, something about that. And there's only one, so it's very, very focused. So it's really just talking about one arena. And on this image, like this elephant and this particular character, they're being isolated on this pin, like this rock inside, like in the ocean. So it's sort of precarious. It's interesting. So it would be an area of life where maybe you don't feel very comfortable. There's a slight element of danger, but I mean, not real danger, danger to your life or danger to get hurt physically, anything like that. But something where you would feel on edge, you would feel a bit more vulnerable. And here, why is this happening? The Empress. You see how eclectic this is? The Empress is usually such a beautiful card in terms of, extending yourself, feeling extremely confident and yet relaxed. Like the very sort of like an inner strength that is calm, that is sort of very deep. So like sometimes there's an expression in French we say force tranquille, it means like a quiet strength, sort of. So it's hard to translate. So it's this kind of feeling where you have this deep, deep reservoir of confidence, and it's deep and it's steady, and it's not like, it's not like a nervous energy. It's a strength that it's not a show of strength, and it's not trying to impress anybody, you know. It's, and I just said impress, but this is the Empress. So it has this thing where, that's why we say the Empress draws people. So from the outside in, which is, you know, the E for outside, but towards the inside, versus to impress is from the inside out. So this is really interesting in terms of I don't know, it feels like you're drawing in the energy from the outside. You're collecting something, bringing it back to towards you. You're concentrating this energy here in this particular message. It's happening as a conclusion, and yet it's something that is being illuminated and yet wiped out. I guess it's the idea that, oh, and you're concentrating this energy here on the paper, but you're also concentrating this energy here in this circle. And here, the idea is to bring it to light, and then by having done this exercise, that's when it becomes obsolete, and it eventually darkens and disappears. I realize this is extremely symbolic in terms of interpretation. It's I'm not telling you, oh, you're going to meet somebody tomorrow, or your job will improve, or you'll buy a new car. I realize I'm really far from telling you anything mundane. But this is what I'm feeling here. And like I said, it's eclectic, and so we're at a different level of interpretation here. And like I said, this 8, you know, the infinity symbol is quite interesting. I want to say, you know, when you have a phenomenon that is a mix of opposites like this, right? Of illuminating something just to make it disappear. I get this impression of, you know, of infinity, because it's like merging two things. It's like impossible. It's like possible but impossible. I don't know, it's really hard to describe. Just like infinity is hard to describe. You understand what I mean? Like, we can imagine what we mean by something that is infinite, but yet we'll never really experience infinity. So it's a little bit like this. How often do you have a situation where you feel that something is being made aware, illuminated in your life, you know, and reaching quite a summum, only to just die and disappear? Do you understand what I mean? It's a rare thing, and by being rare, it's just like infinity. It's something that's difficult to grasp. I don't know if I'm making sense. It's like I said, it's highly symbolic here, so I hope it resonates, Pisces. But if out of all the signs, maybe I have a small hope that you might, that I might be hitting something for you here. You might have enough open-mindedness or just enough imagination, right, to maybe connect the dots here with something that you are experiencing in your life. There it is. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care, Pisces. See you soon.